Hello, and welcome back to the steps of writing like a pro with me, Mary Harelkin Bishop. When I sent you away last, I sent you away to write, which is step 4. I sent you away to write and get all of your story out of your head. And at that time, I told you, don't worry about spelling, don't worry about your grammar or your punctuation, just write your story out of your head. So, can you guess what step 5 is? Step 5 is editing and revising. So once I have written my story and got it out of my head, I actually have to distance myself from it for a while. So that means I put it away and I don't look at it, sometimes for just a few days, sometimes for a week or 2 weeks, and sometimes longer. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to forget the bits of and details and things of my story so that when I come back to read it, I'm reading it like a person who has just picked up a brand new story that I don't know anything about. And so that's a little hard as a writer, but that's something you want to do because now as you're looking at your story, you're thinking about your readers that are going to read your story. And so one thing, of course, I'm looking at already is I'm looking at my spelling, and I want to make sure to say to you, do not just count on spell check. And I think you know why. Spell check is not always accurate. Also, the grammar check is not good either. For you just using that, you have to use other things. One thing I do, especially in parts I'm wondering about or with sentences or paragraphs I'm wondering about, is I read it aloud. I listen to how are the words flowing. Do they work together? I'm listening. Does it feel awkward or not? I often get peer editors, other people to read my work, and I'll talk more about that too. So the biggest thing for me, though, as I'm reading it, is I'm thinking about, do I like this story? Do I like the way does it feel like it flows like a good story? Does it make sense? Do all my things that are supposed to connect, do they all connect? And I'm looking at all these things, circling all my mistakes, and then going back to the computer and fixing those things. And so I'm going to leave you to do that, but I'm also going to make other videos that we're going to have some fun with this. We're going to take a look at some of the things that I look at and talk about things like word power and word choices. I call them strong and powerful words. Descriptions. What's a good way to write descriptions and things like that. So watch for these other videos. They'll still be in step 5. I think we could spend a long time in step 5. Like I told you in one of the previous videos, one book, Next Stop Chicago, which is sitting right, oh, where is it? Right here. This one, we spent eight months editing this book. So if you have to spend a little bit of time editing, don't worry about it. The editing is what makes your book and your story the best story that it can be. So good luck on the editing. I'll have some other little videos that will tell you some of the fun things that I do with editing. And keep reading, keep writing, and talk to you soon. See you next time.